In terms of looking at the selectivity of the specific college, each college kind of fits into a different range in terms of selectivity. The first one is open admissions. Basically what that means is that's your JJCs, those are your community colleges. The open admissions is upon the completion of a high school diploma, you meet the minimum requirement to get into our school. They're looking just for the completion of the high school diploma or the GED. And the middle 50%, their ACT range is between 16 and 21. All right, so again, that's 25% below the average, 25% above. The other for the four-year universities, the traditional colleges like Northern, Eastern, Southern, are looking for the middle, or mostly geared towards the middle 50% of the class, excuse me, the top 50% of the class. So when we say top 50%, that's the top 50 in the class rank. All right, so if there's 860 seniors, then it's 430, the top 430, quite possibly are eligible to go to be accepted to a traditional college. Selected colleges, we're looking for the top 25%. Those are your University of Illinois, your University of Michigan. You're a little bit more selective for your schools. One thing about U of I that you have to pay attention is the specific college within each university. For example, the engineering program at U of I is going to be highly selective. Really the top students are going to go to the top University of Illinois engineering program. They're going to look for an ACT that's in the range of 32 to 36, rather than a student with other majors within the university maybe in that range of 21 to 26. And then the lastly is the highly selective. They're looking for the top 10%. They're looking for the best students. Those are your Northwesterns, those are your Stanfords, those are your Ivy Leagues. And they're looking for students that are a little bit closer to the 30 ACT range. In terms of the college, specifically the college search, what you're looking for in college, the first thing that as a student or as a parent talking to a student you have to think about are your purpose, your values, merit, and personality. You got to think of, why am I going to college? What do I want to get out of this? Okay? You want to think of, in terms of values, you want to think, how hard am I willing to work? Am I a student that I don't really want to work that hard? Maybe a selective school doesn't fit me? Or am I a student that I'm gonna absolutely commit as many hours as I can to get whatever I need to do, and maybe you're going to overachieve and get a better, more quality education because you put more time and effort into it. In terms of merit, in terms of the things that you can bring to the college and community, what do I want to bring to that college campus? What can I bring academically, whether it be my classes, whether it be research opportunities? What can I bring non-academic, whether it's special talents, whether it's I would want to be the president of a fraternity, or I would want to be in the student council, things like that. And then really kind of thinking about what kind of people you want to be around, what kind of places you want to be around. Do you want to be in a city when you go to college? Do you want to be in a rural area? Do you want to go to Iowa, where it's a city of 500 people and you're content with that? Or do you want to go to somewhere that's in a suburban area similar to this? Specifically in terms of exploration, I'm going to go through this college search with you real quick through our career cruising website. But these are really different aspects of a college that you can help to narrow down your search. There's 3,000 four-year colleges. How in the world am I going to narrow that down? You just saw an example of about 30 different colleges. How in the world am I going to narrow that down to what I want? All right, things you're going to use. You're going to choose your geographic location. Do I want to stay in the Midwest? Would I rather surf between classes and go out to California? Again, majors. What am I looking for in majors? What kind of selectivity? Am I a student that maybe I'm not an athlete, but I would love to go and see a college basketball team play on a Saturday? I want to go to the University of North Carolina where they win NCAA basketball championships and be a part of the audience. Cost, obviously, is very important. We'll talk about that in a second. And as well as campus services. Do they have a disability office? If your son or daughter has a disability, has an IEP or 504 plan, what kind of things can a college or university do to help accommodate that student to succeed when they're in their classes? Using the Career Cruising website, they have a college search portion of of that to narrow down or to give you ideas of what colleges you can be searching for. So you go into the regular LTHS, careers is the password. Okay. All you need to do, Kellyanne went through the careers portion of it. I'm going to go through the schools. Okay, so all you need to do is a school selector. Undergraduate would be the four-year school. And now you have all these different types of aspects of a school that you can use to narrow it down. Okay, so if I just press four-year university and view the results, let's see how many I get. I have 2,400 colleges. How in the world am I going to narrow that down? Okay, so now you go to a specific type of school. Public or private, could go either one. All right, I'm just going to think of a student that I talked to last week. He was thinking about public or private. Four-year college was the must. In terms of location, you can choose a specific state. I want to go to Illinois or Wyoming. Or you can specifically say I want to be in the Midwest. All right, we'll use the Midwest. Okay. You can also choose the type of setting. Okay, I would like to either go in the city or a suburb similar to what like Lockport is. All right, now it's going to go to the admission difficulty. This student had a 3.2 GPA, about a 25 ACT, so he was a good, solid student. So we want to go to very moderately or minimally difficult. You can kind of tell what kind of student they're looking for by the brief description. Minimally is the top 50%, or excuse me, the moderately difficult is more than 75% in the top 50. You can kind of see what the selectivity of there based on that. So that's kind of where he would fit in. Specialized programs. All right, this could be something like an accelerated degree program. If you want to be a pharmacist and you don't want to go from a four-year degree to pharmacy school, there are certain pharmacy schools that will crunch them together, and now you can be a pharmacist in 6 years instead of 7 or 8. All right, so that's the research you need to do. So maybe I want an accelerated study. I'm going to go for internships. I want to have an internship my senior year. Okay. Tuition. This is kind of something you can pick out, but just tuition is not all that it's about. So I'm going to say it does not matter for now. All right, state of residence. I live in Illinois. Let's go through this. Honestly, this student kind of told me outright, I really do not want to go to a college that's smaller than my high school. So, okay? So we're going to go for medium, large, and very large. Okay? That's based on what the student is looking for. They want to go to college. The student said, no sports for me. But if you did say, like I mentioned at the North Carolina basketball, if you did want to go to a school that had a good sport program or something like that, you can always click on that. Alright? And then this student wanted to go into something involved in engineering. Alright, so all I can do, put in engineering. And he wanted to go in engineering, but he wasn't very sure about which type of engineering, but you can see all the different majors that are available. Okay? I'm going to go into general engineering. Alright, and you can click on all of these and it will choose the college that has those specific majors. Okay? Campus life, on campus housing, it didn't matter. Campus services, you can take a look. You want career counseling in the college. You want to be a part of the marching band, the newspaper. Are you the type of student that wants to be involved in the radio station? You want to go into radio eventually? Those are all options that you have to choose. Let's take a look here. All right. Based on my choice, these are the colleges that came up. Okay, so those are about 30 colleges. All right. So now, all right, I have 30 colleges. That's way too many. I need to go back into it, and I need to be more specific. So let's go back into tuition and say, you know what? I'm not paying more than $15,000 to go to this school in tuition. Let's see what happens there. A little bit less. Let's go into something else. Let's say even less in tuition. There we go. That's what we're looking for. Alright, so now I'm down to about 6 schools that meet the exact requirements that I'm looking for. Okay? From there, obviously that's a pretty small amount. If you can find to where we have about 10 to 12 to 15 schools, that's where you can go even further in depth. You can research the college, you can research the cost, you can research exactly what type of engineering they offer. Specifically for this student, he was down to like mechanical, electrical, power engineering. So do they have those specific majors in my college? You can nail those types of things down. Okay, let's go back to this. All right, so that's one avenue to use to kind of narrow down that college search. Okay, specifically